Digital Doc, my personal review.
This is the back-end handyman, and my son has had a lot of problems with his computer rebooting. Even just loading up, it'll say a problem has occurred and it'll restart. And sometimes when it restarts, it don't have any video. So I did send it to Digital Doc. They replaced the motherboard, the cooling fan. They put that extension cable in so the USB ports on the case can be used. So at this point, we have spent $469 for, well, the 119 of it was for the Digital Doc to take it and diagnose it. 223 of it was the motherboard. 109.30 is the cooling fan. And that extra extension piece, they threw that in, was still doing it when we got it back. So I call them back, we take it back down there, and they say they leave it running for like 6 hours doing all kinds of programs and stuff. And well, they say they couldn't get to crash at all. They also tell us at that point something our kid is doing, something, the programs, the games he was playing and all that, something like that was messing it up, right? Okay, we bring it back home. I'm about to call them because it was still doing it when we got it back.
Thanks, Con Digital Doc. This is Mickey. I can help you.
Yes, I'm calling because we had a computer that we brought in here a while back, and y'all replaced the motherboard and the cooling fan, and y'all said it was fixed, but my son said it was still crashing, so we brought it back, and then y'all said you ran it for like 6 hours and it's still crashing.
Sure. I don't work on the computers. I'm just the owner. I'm talking to answer the phone because we've had so many customers in here this morning. I know what computer you're talking about because there's a particular game that keeps crashing on it. I've had 4 different techs look at it. Even my master tech looked at it. Determined there's nothing wrong unless we can get it duplicated. If we can see the duplication, we could find out what's going wrong with it. But the only other thing, anytime we run with our stuff on here, our cord, our power strip, everything, it worked fine. We ran it overnight, no problems, no crashes. So it has to be something that he's doing. And he's like, 12, 13 years old, correct?
Well, now I'm the one messing with it.
Okay, well, I understand that, but I just need to know, you keep telling us what it's doing, we bring it back, it's not doing it. So it has to be something on your end. If it's crashing or boot looping or cutting, the power's going off, it's a number of things. It could even be your power strip. It could be tripping your power strip and turning off and then turning back on. That's the only conclusion that we came up with. Or your outlet that you're using is tripping it, too much power. Or he's running too many programs at one time, which we did it, but we didn't sit there for 6 hours and play a game. We don't have time for that.
Right, I understand that.
There's a number of things that could be wrong with it, but every time we've had it, it's not the issue. Now, you're just plugging it directly into the wall?
3 different plugs so far.
Okay. So, but is it all the same breaker?
No, one's in my garage, and, well, 2 of them are on the same breaker, maybe. I'm not sure.
When this happens, film it for us on your phone, and let us see what's going on. Because it's never happened to us. I mean, you understand, I brought somebody in from my Shawnee store. I even brought somebody in from my Ponca store because they work here one day a week. And every one of them work on computers. One of them's been working on computers for 20 years. And we couldn't get it to duplicate.
You have a Ponca store?
Yeah, we have one.
Are you serious?
There's a CPR.
Holy cow, dude.
And
We live in Tonkwall.
She's my manager. No,
And we drove like an hour to you guys, and then we had to drive another hour just to pay you some more money so you'd work on it.
That's not.
Yeah.
It's a different store. This is Digital Doc, that's CPR.
Okay.
Looked at it 3 different times. If you bring it back, we're going to let you video what's going on with it. I'm not going to know. She's even seen this, and she's over there. She's over here on Mondays. She's worked at OSU for 2 years on computers itself for all the faculty. She's been
Well,
with me for over 2 years. She
okay.
looked at it. So we've told you before, if you guys can video it and show us what's going on, maybe we can figure out from there. She was here 1 or 2 of those days when you brought it in. But we need a video of it. I don't understand why you can't just do a video of it and then bring it to us and show us what it's doing. And I'm not saying that's going to, eliminate the problem, but we need to physically see what it's doing, or if it's giving us an error code, what exactly it's doing.
Anyway, that we can get the original motherboard and stuff put back in it. I still have it because it just seems like...
Listen, that wouldn't be covered under warranty. You want us to work on it and physically change stuff out again, then we're going to charge you another $119.99. We're cheap on that stuff anyway compared to everybody else.
Okay, let me ask you this. If I duplicate the proof and bring it back to you and you see that, it wasn't the motherboard and it wasn't the cooling fan or any of that, and you see that it was the video card, are you going to take the motherboard out and put the video card in it?
You're asking me to make a decision based upon something that I don't know that's happening or what's happening with it, and that's not fair.
If I can prove to you that it was a misdiagnosis...
As soon as I find out what's wrong with it, then we'll go from there. If we can send the motherboard back and put the old one in, sure, we would do something like that, but I really doubt that's going to come into play. If you're worried about if we can't fix it, we can't figure out what's wrong with it, and it's our fault, then, hey, we'll be the first person to say, yeah, we'll refund your money.
You said you sit there for 6 hours, and it's still not crashing for you.
I don't understand why you're arguing with me when I don't know what the problem is.
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying it's kind of hard to believe it didn't crash for 6 hours when just sitting on the home screen it crashes.
You're telling me that we're lying about it?
Well,
I'm just... That's not the kind of shop we are. If you want to bring it to our Ponca store and let her look at it, if you can show us the proof what it's doing, I don't understand why you can't give us the proof what it's doing.
Okay.
Just give us that. We'll go from there.
Well, I'm scared to bring it back to you and charge me another $400 is the problem. If I can prove what's going wrong with it, you say, I don't know what we're going to do, and then I feel like you're going to, it needs a new video card, and you're going to charge me another $400 for a video card. Yeah, I'll get it replicated, and I'll take videos of it.
I can see where you're coming from, but I spent a lot of time and money on trying to fix that device. It's not like I just had one person look at it. There's not very many things that we can't fix on a computer. There's nothing we can't fix on a computer in figuring it out. And we've never had anything like this in the 7 years that I know. Just take it to our Ponca store. It's the Pioneer Square Center.
All right, here's his computer. As you can see, it just did one of them crashes to where it reboots, restarts, and then you can't see nothing on the display panel, so you have to do a hard reset, right? Watch. You'll see. I ain't gonna touch nothing else. Then I give it a few seconds. I wait for the fan to stop turning. I'll come up here, hit it again. See, my hand's right here. I didn't hook one up all of a sudden. Then you'll hear it go whoosh. Let's turn it off again. Sometimes you gotta do it twice. Let's try it again. See, it kicked on that time. You'll see it come on this time. There it goes. And then sometimes right when it starts up, it'll just go into some kind of like error. Let's see if it does it. See, there's the error. And it'll do a restart. And sometimes when it restarts, the screen will come back on. But sometimes when it restarts, the screen just stays off and stays stupid. Now the whole computer didn't restart. Oh, I kicked back on that time. All I'm trying to do is do the initial updates, man. I really feel like it's about to crash. Oh, there it goes. Oh, there it went. It did it again. I've been fighting with this over and over. It's kind of a headache, man. It just keeps restarting. In the middle of updates, in the middle of downloads. Oh, and this time it isn't gonna come back on, I bet you. Let's see. See? Now the damn screen ain't gonna come on. Hit escape. How about Control Alt delete? Nothing. Nada. Now that's the reason I think it's this video card right here, because as you can see it's got the GeForce GTX in it. Is because sometimes when it comes back on the damn display don't work, and they say they let it sit here for like 6 hours or something at their shop, and it didn't do this once. I mean, I don't know how the hell it didn't do it. And now I'm kind of aggravated because since the motherboard was switched out, for some reason, the ports don't work off the motherboard for the display panel. Kind of just want it back how it was so that I could figure it out on my own and just pay the $400 for a new video card. But you all wanted me to put it on video, so guess what? It's on video. And, I mean, we're not lying to you that the damn thing's doing this. So let's do some updates again. See if it'll do it this time. See, I'm just trying to do the updates. That's it. Oh, there it went.
We're calling Digital Doc. This is Colby. How can I help you?
It recorded it doing it, and I uploaded a video to YouTube on one of my off accounts. And I can send you a link to that if you would like, and you can watch it and determine what you want me to do at that point.
Yeah, I'd probably just have it taken to them. That's probably just going to be the best option I can suggest, is to have it looked at in person as well.
Cell phone repair, this is Kaylin. How can I help you?
Yes, my name's Randall, and I was actually talking to the Digital Doc there in Stillwater. I guess you all are affiliated in some way.
Yeah.
I have a computer that they worked on. He was telling me to bring it to you, and I was just making sure that you knew about it and everything.
Yeah, he already called me and filled me in. I mean, if you want to bring it back by, I can take another look at it.
I made a video for them to see, and I uploaded it to YouTube, but he said that, you know, just tell you about it and bring it to you, so.
Yeah, anytime you want to bring it by, I can take another look.
All right, I'll bring it by about 2:30. I appreciate it. Okay, thank you. Bye. All right, here we go. I got it all packaged up and ready to go. We'll see what goes on with that. Made me get the video of this stuff. It's going to be kind of upsetting if nobody actually watches the video of what it's doing before they decide where they want me to go. I think I talked to you earlier?
Yeah.
The video card that's in it, I think, is the problem.
Okay.
And there's the antennas. And sometimes when it restarts, the screen don't come back on. You have to like hard reset it a couple times and then it'll start displaying again.
Okay.
That was the main thing that made me think it was the video card.
Okay.
But, and I don't know if you would need it or not, but I do have a video of it that I put on YouTube.
Okay,
Just
yeah,
talk
if you
about
want to email it to me.
Okay.
So I have your old stuff, I have all of this, I'll take it in and I'll see what I can find out and see what's going on. And then I'll give you a call back.
Okay, in no hurry. I appreciate you doing it, so. But thank you so much.
On July 20th, 2023, CPR called me, said she tested the RIMON, did other tests too, and came to the conclusion the processor is what she thinks is wrong with it, and still didn't test the graphics card, because she don't have one to change out with. So I called Digital Doc again.
Thank you for calling Digital Doc. This is Colby. How can I help you?
Well, here a while back, I brought a computer in to have y'all look at it. He told me to take it to the Ponca City store and have them look at it. She thinks it's the processor. When you told me it was motherboard, He told me that if it wasn't the motherboard, that the money paid for the motherboard would go towards the processor if that's what it was.
During the repair, yeah. Like, if we were doing it in the repair during the time, that's how it would go, yes, sir. There was no way for us to tell that's what it was at the time. Everything, like I said, we had it plugged in for, 4 to 6 hours at a time, and nothing happened. With parts and diagnosis, there's no way we would have known that's what it was at the time.
Now, since I brought it home, I have to buy a new processor. Don't they have some kind of processor they can put in it just to see if that's what it is before we spend $300 some for it?
No, we do not. So we have to order them, exactly to the specifications of what you have.
I bring it home and it crashes just trying to update the system. I don't understand why it didn't crash for you all, and I get it home and it crashes 10 minutes after we get it.
I don't know without being there.
For $300 some, I could just buy another computer.
Without taking every bit of that apart and putting all new stuff in there, there's no way to tell. That's just how it is with computers or electronics in general. So, if you want, I can have her order a graphics card and go through that process and see if that's what it is. If you want, just kind of narrow that out.
In order to do that, I got to pay for a new graphics card and everything, though, huh?
I would say, depending upon the part cost, we would have to have a down payment on it, yes. But if that's not what it is, we can, refund you for the part. But,
well, that's what I was told before. And the motherboard, if that's not it, we can put the cost of the motherboard towards the processor. I guess I'll just post this on YouTube and let them know what kind of business we got going on. And I'll go get my computer.
Like I said, we've been doing this for years. There is no way for anybody to know exactly what it is without testing parts. And that's just how it is.
When you had it, and then you told me, oh, it's not crashing because we had it running overnight or all day or whatever, it's not crashing at all. And I get it home and it crashes within 30 minutes of my son even fucking with it. So, but the whole thing was being told that if it's not that part, I'll just go get it and I'll figure out something else.
All right, well, if you have any other questions, let me know. Bye.
Hi there.
Hello.
Here to pick up your
Yeah, I was just going to pick it up.
Here's that. Let me go grab the motherboard and stuff. Do you want these on top?
Yeah. Easier to carry that way. When I first took it down there and they made me pay for the motherboard, I was like, well, because they weren't sure if it was motherboard or the processor at that time. And I told him, I said, well, what if the motherboard wasn't the problem? And he told me at that point that if that wasn't the problem, that the money spent on the motherboard would go towards the processor.
Yeah.
I took it home and I put it on for within less 5 to 10 minutes it started crashing. I was like, okay, it's still not fixed.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's been such a pain, but...
Yeah, alrighty, thank you.
Yeah, you have a good one.
Oh, that sucks. At least I didn't have to pay her anything.
We still don't have the computer fixed, and they want to charge to put the old motherboard back in, or charge for a new processor, or a new video card, without being sure of the issue. So let's add it up. $119 to misdiagnose, $240 to replace perfectly fine motherboard, $109 for a fan that was only needed because old fan wouldn't fit new motherboard, and because I trusted it was fixed. When I picked it up and took it home, for them to try a different part, I will have to pay at least $300 more. Don't take your computers there unless you want to pay for them. To change out random parts and blame the problem back on you. Digital Doc's number is 405-707-7551. Let them know you've seen the video because they didn't care.
Hey man, while you're at it, check out my other YouTube channels. The Stay Home Dad, The Back End Handyman, The Dorcher Family, and The Average Stoner. Just a little bit of what I do from day to day as a stay-home dad.